Happy St. Paddy's Day, everyone, from Newfoundland and Labrador. My name is Ralph Tapper. I'm chair of the Newfoundland and Labrador Irish Connections Board. The NLIC is an organisation that has been hosting Irish Connector gatherings every second year in our province and every other year in the southeast counties of Ireland, where so many of our ancestors came from. On behalf of our board and all of our so many connectors over the last 15 years, we hope all of you enjoy your celebrations, whatever form they may take, but please stay safe. Hope to see all of you sometime soon when travel permits. Have a good day, have a good Paddy's Day, great celebrations. See you soon.
Hello everybody, my name is Cormac McCrath from the Gaeltacht, or Irish speaking area of Waterford. It's great to be with you tonight. I'm playing here in our shed, or our man cave, a few friends over. I've Paddy, Tutty on fiddle, Cuivino Farrell on guitar, and Mayan Nicra, my daughter, on concertina. We're going to sing you a few songs. One of them a song in praise of the Déise, the Waterford area here. The other one is one of your own, but it also could have been written about here. The places are so similar. Then I'll step out of the limelight and the three musicians will take over. They'll play a set of jigs, friggy, and then they'll play a set of polkas. I hope you enjoy.
Just to wake up in the morning to the quiet of the cove, and to hear Aunt Bessie talking to herself, and to hear poor Uncle John mumbling wishes at old Nell. It made me feel that everything was fine. I was born down by the water, it's there I'm gonna stay. I've searched for all the reasons why I should go away, but I haven't got the colors for those modern day toys, so I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys. Following the little brook as it trickles to the shore in the autumn when the trees are flaming red, kicking leaves that fall around me, watching sunsets paint the hills. That's all I ever need to feel at home. This island that we cling to has been handed down with pride by those who fought to live here, taking hardships in their stride. So I'll compliment her beauty, hold on to my goodbyes, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys. and the gulls like flies surrounding Clayton's wall. Platter's Island dressed in rainbow in the evening after fall. The ocean smells are perfume to my soul. Some go to where the buildings reach to meet the clouds, where kind and gentle people turn to swarming, faceless crowds. But I'll do without the riches, the glamour and the noise, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys. Some go to where the buildings reach to meet the clouds, where kind and gentle people turn to swarming, faceless crowds. But I'll do without the riches, the glamour and the noise, and I'll stay and take my chances with those saltwater joys.
In bygone days, when we didn't have as many ways of entertaining ourselves as we have nowadays, one of the chief sources of entertainment was listening to the local storytellers. Now, the Shanachis. Now, the stories, of course, could depend on the season. They were longer in the winter time when they had plenty of time to listen, and they became a little bit shorter in the summer. They dealt with kings and warriors and chieftains and great heroes, villains and clowns, and all sorts of the type of people that go to make up our society then and perhaps now. When summer came, as I said, they became shortened. And later on, when the Irish language in which they all were disappeared and the English language took over, the stories took on a different hue altogether. The gods and the heroes had to take a long vacation. And now the emphasis was on local events and people and the failings and weaknesses and foibles of the neighbours. They tended not to be too specific in their details, and there was a fear that if the person and the story was identified, that some of his relations would take umbrage. Something like Eamon Kelly always started stories with something like, there was this man in the parish of Lyre. Now, the fact that there were 4,000 or 5,000 men in the big parish of Lyre meant that it would be very hard to pin the story on any particular person. So the story I'm about to tell involved known characters, but because that family has died out, we're not likely to insult anybody at the moment. So we donned the Shanachi's hat. They always had hats, and indeed it was part of the outfit. Before my father's time, there used to be no galluses on the trousers at all, you know. Galluses, suspenders or braces or whatever it is that they call them nowadays. Well, Mike Joe Dugan down the Boreen here, a bit of an old legend, always skulking porter when the funds allowed, or reading fancy books or magazines that he got from his sister in America. Oh, he had a great respect for work. He had indeed, but he would never insult it by doing too much of it. Indeed, I'd say his only claim to fame was the day that he won the long spit competition below at the Cross. He was good at that. After less than 10 minutes tune, he could lob a big smugger of a tobacco spit near enough to dazzle the eyes of the Kirog from 25 yards. Well, when he was threatening on for around 60, he decided that he'd have to get something to keep the hate in him before the death. And if he was to get any of the young ones to look at him, of course, he'd have to be in the latest fashions. And the old trousers, the leather breeches that he inherited from his father, was around 60 years old at that time. And if he took it off, it would stand up on its own and walk away. Well, of course, he was greatly influenced in this new style of breeches from what he saw in the magazines. The cowboys with their galluses, their suspenders, but he wasn't too taken with the blue jeans. He had seen a lovely picture of a man in a ballroom going dancing with lovely creased trousers and what have you. So He got the makings of the trousers, a little bit of bray jean cloth, and a new pair of galluses ordered specially down from Dublin for him. And with the whole bundle under his arm, he struck off across the hills to where Sean Elena, the tailor, was living. Now, Sean was as fine a tailor as ever stuck a leg in the breeches, but he had a number of faults. He'd stay drinking while he could, or talking, and the result was that the job wouldn't be finished as expected. Anyhow, Mikey Joe went across, and 'twas a kind of a dark night, and he stumbled into a brake of briars and got all torn. Bad luck too for a moon, says he, and you'll be out a bright night. Well, as the man said, when the roof of the house fell on him, things rested so, and before long he was in Sean's, and he showed him the cloth and explained about the galluses and the specifications of the trousers. It was to be ready on the following Saturday night, and it was. And there was a crowd in to see the new specifications and the new trousers that they had never seen before. And Mikey Joe took it out and got ready to put it on, and slaughter, gee, man, there was a crease down the front of it that had cut butter, and another one at the back to keep it company. Well, they put on the trousers, but before long they couldn't figure out how to fit the galluses. But after a lot of canoodling, they tackled him into it, and he was ready to be sailed for home. They warned him, of course, that he'd never manage all the buttons and all the fittings in the morning, so that he was to get out of it the same way as he got into it and pulled the galluses down over his shoulders. Off he went home, went to sleep. In the morning, Sunday, he got up early. He combed his hair for the first time in about a month, the 7 aside he had left, washed the face, emptied the potty into the back drain, and when all was ready, he got into the trousers the same way as he got out of it. But he forgot one thing. When he got out of the trousers, he was sitting on the bed. And when he was going into it, he was facing the bed, and he pulled up the trousers and they put the galluses over the shoulder. And off he goes down the road to Mass, and the crease in the trousers walking a half a yard out in front of him. Well, when he got down near the chapel gate, there was a big crowd there, and whatever they were talking about, it stopped. There wasn't a word, only everyone watching the bio. Not a word out of anyone. He couldn't stand it much longer, and he went over to Patty Sean. Well, Patty, says he, and what do you think of it? Think of what, says Patty. My new trousers, of course, says Mikey Joe. Patty looked at it. "'Tis all right, I suppose, but wasn't it a sin they didn't put the front of it where it should be?" Well, the following day, Monday, he got up early. He tackled up the little ass in car. A big black ass, strong beast. And he went into town on the lookout for a woman. Well, he put the cart into O'Neill's yard, and he tied the donkey to the gate because he didn't expect to be very long. And off he went down through the streets. And before long, the old temptation was too much for him. And before long himself, he was Lord drunk, and he hadn't a clue where himself was, not to talk of the little ass in car. Well, Ewan made his way slowly back up to O'Neill's, and he found that the donkey was gone. A woman had come and seen the poor beast there for hours without anything to eat, and she had got someone to put him into a local field where he got a bit of grass. Well, Mikey Joe was in an awful state. The car was there, but there was no sign of the ass. And the sergeant was here at the time. A big black, ugly devil with a big bushy moustache. He came up and he said, what's your name? Mike Joe said, I'm not sure, sir. What do you mean, said the sergeant, you're not sure? Well, he said, if I'm Mikey Joe Dugan, I lost an ass. And if I'm not, I found a car. Anyway, the sergeant thought it would be better for his own protection to arrest him and take him into custody. But there was a problem because there was no cell in the barracks here at the time. And the only place they could put him was into the local hotel. Well, of course, the hotels then aren't what they are now, but they would put him into a room with white, clean sheets in the bed and carpets on the floor and what have you. Mikey Joe looked at the white sheets and he said to the bed, you're too clean to sleep in you. He said, I'll go in under you. So in he went. Before long, he was fast asleep. And later on the same evening, the man that owned the hotel rented out the same room to a couple down from Dublin, honeymoon couple, down to see the country, whatever was wrong with him. And before long, they were in bed, whatever hurry they were in. And the fellow was looking into the one's eyes. And darling, that's what he calls her, you know. Darling, says he, I can see the whole world in your eyes. And Mikey Joe woke up and he got very excited altogether under the bed. And he shoved his head out and he said, hi, sir, and can you see sight or light of my little ass and car?
Come on. I thought I'd do a little recitation for you today about the clothes on Mother's line. I have my clothes on the line today. It's a bit overcast now, but it's a grand day on the clothes just the same. And our mother had a wringer washer, which I don't have. You know, I got a lovely modern washer and dryer and everything today, but I thought on this lovely April day I'd get a bit of clothes on the line. Anyhow, I made up this little recitation a few years ago about my mother, our mother doing laundry years ago when we were children, and trying to keep it all going, you know, and get it out on the line. That's the only way she had to dry it. So I thought I'd do that for you today. It's called The Clothes on Mother's Line. The clothes on Mother's line blew gently in the breeze on those days so long ago when the wind caressed the trees. Her hands so strong and sure, one finger crooked from the past, a simple golden band from a marriage that would last. The wringer washer in the kitchen hummed and sputtered on wash day. The smells of ABC and Javex filled the house without delay. Sunlight soap and ivory snow were frequently employed. Never mind the racket, what odds about the noise. There was washing and then rinsing as she went about the chore. The sights and smells of laundry I'll remember evermore. A pot of water boiling on the wood stove at the back held the diapers for the baby when she had cleaned them without slack. There were homemade quilts and bed sheets and the shirts of boys and men. There were long johns, jeans and dresses. There were hankies way back then. Lines of diapers white as snow in my distant memories are etched in vivid colour and affixed there in the breeze. Fine day on the clothes, my maid, the neighbours would then say, for all the mothers did the same thing on the sunny days. In winter, spring and summer they would wash and rinse and hang, never mind the ice and snow or the phone that might have rang. It was the hardest kind of work, no modern methods then, no bounce sheets and no dryers, no hot running water way back then. Clotheslines and clothespins and a clothesline stick you'd see to get the wash up in the breeze and dry all that laundry. Whether cooking meals or baking bread, her manner was the same. Unrushed or hurried was her way, confidence her middle name, as she changed the diapers, fed the family, knit the mittens too, and sent us off with love and care when it was time for school. Her busy hands in all her chores, her strength and smile and grace, defied the many lines of toil there etched upon her face. all the stories that are written on my heart and in my mind of those simple days, long gone now, in the clothes on Mother's lawn. Thank you. Hope you enjoy it.
Walking all the day, your tall towers where falcons build their nests. Silver-winged they fly, they know the call of freedom in their breasts. So black-head against the sky, between the rocks that run down to the sea, living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Talking all the day with true friends who try to make you stay, telling jokes and news, singing songs to pass the night away. Watch the Galway salmon run like silver dancing, darting in the sun, living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets and asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and I sang a song for Ireland. Drinking all the day in old pubs where fiddlers love to play. Someone touched a bow, he played a reel that seemed so grand and gay. Stood on Dingle Beach and cast in wild foam we found Atlantic bass, living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and sang a song for Ireland. Dreaming in the night, I saw a land where no man had to fight. Waking in your door, I saw you crying in the morning light, lying where the falcons fly, they twist and turn, and in your rare blue sky, living on your western shore, saw summer sunsets, asked for more. I stood by your Atlantic sea and I sang a song for Ireland.
Hi everybody and happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm talking to you here from Dunhill, County Waterford, and I'd like to introduce a couple of songs to you now, sung by Dunile, our local folk group, of which I'm a member. We'd like to sing two songs for you called The Broom of the Cowdenhows and Until Then. The Broom is an old Scottish love song about a lost love, and Until Then, in contrast, is a modern ballad composed by the Ennis sisters from Newfoundland. So we thought that the second song was particularly apt because it's a song we're all here in lockdown and we all want to get back to see our families and friends. And of course, we're saying until then. So we performed these songs in St. Patrick's Gateway a couple of years ago before COVID. And we hope you enjoy them. Thanks a lot.
Now that the party
Is seo scéalbeag gáthangach mar gheall Mícheál Mór agus City Sú. Uair amháin fadó, ferm beg níor Cararó. Cónig Mícheál Mór, an eldest son of 44. Agus mar sin so at the break of day he settled back leis an cupán té. Níor fuair sé riamh the urge to stroll or spend the evening times agole. Bhí riachtanas eintelacht drawn from Lowland like Peggy and Isagahan. And so it was, blian in, blian out. He never really moved about. He dreamt of Colleen, nee, sure most men do, but he never sinned. And I can tell. He drummed all lying in Bala clear. A Colleen Des had a bright idea. When late the seared time came by, decided she would like to try. Art beg hewn like Cararó, no shortage of fear, and not far to go. Tashtil she down to meet the clan, agus bade her find herself a man. This Colleen Des with eyes so blue was known sa Ballamore as City Sú. Na Buchalí Galéir came calling. Oh, be she'd coenta that she was go-hauling. This Colleen Glick knows every trick. She's heading sheer. Beware, Vic. Vina side sheer lossa in the parish hall at the local Fáine Wearers Ball. Be me hall own. Agus vi Susie own. Curra in a most revealing gown. Well, the dort me hall, I'll take a chance. Give me the fault. Would you like to dance? Amach an o'r lord de strut. First cheek to cheek and then some, head to foot. The hánig Susie Cungrach. Agus dúirtí in Mícheál's ear. Eistlum, let's disappear. Úsáidimid ma cheamra, the door's unlocked. We'll spend the year in Shamra hot. Mícheál's ceam was in a spin. He wasn't thinking smain tea mar shin. Bannig sé hain, he could hardly stutter, and a English error. Straight away into bed, decade of the rosaries said, Tá Mícheál bocht, ag colour alone, in his labba bag, a cold. He often dreams of Shamra Hocht and what might have been, or Mícheál bocht. Good morning.
guys, welcome back. For our second tune, we're going to do a song by the late great Mr. Tommy Makem. A song called Paddy Kelly's Brew. Paddy Kelly is the name, making pots and roasty game. I lived way up here behind the hill. I made the drops of door and the front hill. It's a passage and you have some hill. And it tastes as sweet as honey as it trickles down your throat. And it looks as clear as doors morning dew. It would make a fella sing, oh, he didn't have no. Won't you try a drop of Paddy Kelly's brew? Catching salmon on the ground, or setting snares for rabbits on the hill. But the nicest time of all is the game the shovels fall. I watch the bottles filling happy still. And it tastes as sweet as honey as it trickles down your throat. And it looks as clear and cold as morning dew. It would make a fella sing, no, he didn't have a go. Won't you try a drop of Paddy Kelly's brew? Yours to these headaches, backaches, all hair and all the rest. All night is corn, thumbs and blue. And it tastes as sweet as honey as it trickles down your throat. It looks as clear and pure as morning dew. It would make a fella sing, oh, he didn't have a go. Won't you try a drop of Paddy Kelly's brew? I know you will confess that this world is in a mess, and the politicians don't know what to do. I ain't been robber than a man, you surely gets a man. Go away to Dublin and love Kelly's brew. And it tastes as sweet as honey as it trickles down your throat. It looks as clear and pure as morning dew. It will make a fella sing, oh, he didn't have a go. Won't you try a drop of Paddy Kelly's brew? And it tastes as sweet as honey as it trickles down your throat. It looks as clear and cold as morning dew. It would make a fella sing, oh, he didn't have a go. Won't you try a drop of Paddy Kelly's brew? Won't you try a drop of Paddy Kelly's brew? Whoa! Thanks, guys.
Good luck with the rest, Ricky. Good luck.